action.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kiev Cyber Sports Arena, home of Starladder Season 9. It's now day number 3 of 4, and today we start sending teams home. I'm LDP on the summit. I'm joined here by Merlini to my right, of course, and well...
I was about to say, woohoo, and then you said, we're about to start sending teams home, and then I was like, wait, that's not an appropriate time.
No, Ben, you're like the guy that laughs at someone's funeral. Jeez. But yeah, today we start sending teams home. So 4 teams go home today. 1 team secures their spot in the grand finals. That will be either DK or EG. DK took the easy path to the finals. EG did it the hard way, but they both did it 2-0. And this is the match everyone's most excited for. You'll have to wait until the end of today's broadcast to actually see it. But, well, we start today in the lower bracket. And in the lower bracket, we have Empire versus RoX.KiS, as well as Navi versus MVP Phoenix for our first 2 matches. So these teams, well... CIS Bloodbath, at least one CIS team goes home, and it seems very unlikely, but if Navi lose a BO1 to MVP Phoenix somehow, some way, they go home too, so
Navi have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, I mean, that game you expect them to win, but they've got to slog through 2 BO1s, and then they've got to win 2 BO3s, and then they have to win a BO5 with a 1-game disadvantage if they want to take it. They are taking a very, very difficult route to the grand finals.
They're 2-5 this tournament.
Coming into it, they were playing fantastically online.
Yeah,
most people would have said they're top 3, top 4 contenders to take the event at the least, but not the case. And well, with that being said, let's turn our attention to the first match for the day. It's Empire versus RoX.KiS. Empire, very underwhelming, disappointing group stage from them. They only beat MVP Phoenix, and even that looked a bit sloppy. They dropped the game to Alliance. They got destroyed by DK. And, well, on the other side, you've got RoX.KiS, who almost made it out of tiebreakers. Couldn't quite do it in the end. IG had their number, and that's really what ultimately cost them. But I look at this matchup, Ben, and I see 2 teams that are just not playing quite up to the level they were coming into the LAN finals.
Yeah, they're really evenly matched, though.
Yes.
I'd say Empire and RoX.KiS have traditionally provided really good games, and what more is there to say? I think both of them play a little bit differently. RoX.KiS slightly more 5-man, Empire more like aggressive gank-oriented mid-game, but these are both very mid-game centric teams. Like you look for the game to be decided by like the 20-25 minute mark if it's like a 10,000 gold lead, but more likely than not it's going to be very, very close, a lot of back and forth action. RoX.KiS,
a team that loves their, I guess, I don't know if you'd call them full-on cheeses, but they love their somewhat cheesy play, where they have mass heal strats. They'll often run, as Lysander calls it, the Zoo strat, mass necro books, a lot of summons, and just 5-man and group up. But these kind of strats do have their downside. They're a bit predictable. They can be countered by certain heroes, the pushing lineups in particular. They went for mass necros in 2 of the tiebreak matches yesterday, and both games just got destroyed by Ember Spirit, a hero that they need to ban if they want to run that strategy. Well, in this game, they won't really get to run the full necro book strat because Lycan's been banned out, Invoker's been selected by Empire, and normally it's those 2 heroes in Prophet that RoX.KiS looks to get their hands on. One other sort of style they like to run, which we talked about heading into the tournament, haven't seen it yet, is the Starladder Centaur combo, just the face rush, beefy tanks diving you under your tower. I don't think, have they played Starladder yet this tournament? I don't think so.
Yes, they did.
Okay,
they did one time. They got obliterated though.
Well, this is not a Starladder.
That's a little bit different, but it is something that BZZ plays a decent amount. He plays a pretty solid gyrocopter. I think they really like gyro and Darkseer combination back when Darkseer was a little bit more popular, but Empire will actually take Darkseer second, so
I think teams showing Darkseer a little more love after what EG have done with him this tournament, perhaps?
Yes, he's not completely nerfed. He's just not very useful unless you hit sick vacuum walls. You have to hit really good combos, or else it's kind of a useless hero. He's relatively easy to zone out because he doesn't have Surge at level 1. He's not as tanky as Centaur. He can't actually just bully around supports like a Centaur can, and he doesn't have any lockdown. So in general, you'll see Centaur picked up over Darkseer. But if you have a really good Darkseer player, why not?
I think the main thing is he just takes longer to come online. He needs like level 11 or 12 to really shine. Maybe level 10, but before then you don't have a point in your wall. You won't have a max vacuum yet. Ideally you want a mech as well, so he's more of a mid-game, late-game centric offlaner, and you look like teams like DK, they favor the ones that can just get into the fight as quickly as possible. Centaur as soon as he hits level 6, even before then if they've got like a solo mid invoker for Ice Ice Ice. But here, we now see a Shadow Demon come out for Empire, and RoX.KiS, They're going back to something that we saw out of them. Oh, geez, how long ago was this for Godblack? This used to be, I want to say this was what RoX.KiS was doing even heading into TI3, where they'd run OD mid, they'd just get a tree and just start spamming living armor on them, basically have an unkillable OD in the mid lane. This was before tree got the nerf. I remember there was a few games where the hero just didn't die, you couldn't harass him out of lane, to the point where living armor had to be nerfed by Ice Frog. So it's not quite as strong now, but it's still pretty scary.
Also, they have tons of sustain. RoX.KiS is all about the sustain. Usually it's Abaddon, but this time it'll be the Dazzle and the Treant. And on top of that, they have Essence Aura, so pretty much unlimited Shadow Waves coming out from Dazzle, heading into the 15-20 minute mark. And Team Empire, I think it's very important to have a natural mech bearer versus RoX.KiS, which Darkseer does provide over a hero like Centaur. And if RoX.KiS likes a 5-man, mech is probably the best 5-man item around the time where RoX.KiS hits their maximum potency. Looks like they will go for the classic Shadow Demon Mirana combo.
Yeah, this combo it's pretty difficult to play against if you get it just right. We saw perfect execution of it from DK when Bernie was playing the Mirana, the Shadow Demon Disruption into arrow. He would arrow such that the arrow is like going through your body right as disruption ends, but it can be messed up late in the game. Alliance versus EG last night. Loda, he lined up for an arrow after a hero, not from disruption, but was just respawning with Aegis, slightly mistimed it and ended up possibly costing them the game. But yep, we'll see how well they execute the combination. They've got likely all three of their cores, though I suppose it could be a support Mirana. And we'll see what Empire wants to do with their last pick.
I'm a little surprised that RoX.KiS banned out Morphling. I think the Batrider ban, Mag's Batrider, and Batrider in general is a little ridiculous. AA is very good against their overall strategy, but Morphling is not.
They don't have much lockdown though. They have like nothing on a Morphling until OD gets a hex.
They usually end the game fairly early. OD can kill the replicate very easily, and they just have a lot of damage. I think they usually end the game before a Morph gets online.
They usually do, but how are they going to end the game early with Gyrocopter and OD? That's not the best lineup to end the game with. Not that good at breaking the base. Need a lot of farm. So maybe this is just an adjustment given their draft.
I don't think Empire runs
Silent, he's played some Morphling.
He's played some Morphling.
It's not like his go-to.
I usually see him on
Luna's probably his most common.
The HOD carries.
Yeah, more of the just
Life Stealer.
Yeah, the efficient farmers that can go ultra greed mode. Nyx Assassin banned out by RoX.KiS now, or picked up by RoX.KiS rather. So, off-lane Nyx Assassin, he will have living armor this game.
Their lockdown is absolutely poopy. They have a couple of Suns from Nyx, and that's about it. Homing Missile, Touch, Poison Touch, like Treant Protector with his Overgrowth, but I think that can really kill.
They have Astral Imprisonment into Impale. That's like their best initiation here. Until Nyx gets a Blink.
So Empire going with the Darkseer and Sane King combo. We saw IG run it, but they got crushed when they tried to run it versus EG. It just, they never got the combo.
But it can be amazing. We saw that yesterday.
It can be amazing. Was Naga ignored in this?
I want to say so.
I want to say so too. I'm a little surprised that.
I'm gonna look at the stream real
Silent
quick.
And,
let's see if we still have the draft there. Oh no, just ended. All right, we missed our opportunity, buddy.
I think it was. It was like Ember, Lycan, Batrider, and one more. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't think Naga was banned that game.
Interesting. She's like very high priority pick in a lot of the other matches. This one just completely ignored, or possibly completely ignored.
Empire, RoX.KiS definitely not known for running their Naga, and I don't think Empire particularly
Let's
are
check out the Dota 2 Lounge, see what it says. 75-25 RoX.KiS. I don't think that is accurate.
I would have said that's accurate a month ago.
Yeah.
Even a few weeks ago.
There's a lot of odds that just aren't accurate. Alliance EG was 50-50 yesterday. You cannot tell me that those two teams had equal chances of winning that match.
I think Alliance played better than expected.
Yes.
But yeah, coming into that, 50-50 seemed
this one should probably more like 65-35 maybe?
Even just 60-40, I would say.
RoX.KiS played really well yesterday. They slumped a little bit in day one, but day two, they really got their game on.
All right, Merlini, let's do it. Time for our first match of the day. We've got quite a few teams going home, 4 to be exact, and we begin in the lower bracket with Empire versus RoX.KiS. One of these CIS teams, these proud teams, will go home. On the dire side, you've got Team Empire. Bankscore playing the Shadow Demon, always want to fly, handling the Sand King that puts Mag onto his offlane Darkseer. Resolution, who's been sensational even in defeat this tournament thus far on the Invoker. Glad to see him back on just one of his absolute go-to heroes, and that leaves Silent as your Mirana. On the Radiant side, Team RoX.KiS. Godblack playing the Treant Protector. BZZ is perfect on the Gyrocopter. Hasn't been perfect so far this tournament. Yol on the Dazzle, Solo playing the OD, and Sadoy, who to me was the most impressive RoX.KiS player yesterday, will be playing the Nyx Assassin.
And looking at the start, we see Resolution already skill up Exort. So I don't even think we've seen any Quas-Wex Invokers this entire tournament.
No, there was one game where it was the IG game where 430 went mid Quas-Wex. They ran aggressive tri-lane, and they had safely YYF Prophet, gave up the first blood to a puck.
Oh,
that was a Quas-Wex Invoker.
I remember that.
But Resolution always seems to go Quas Exort, and to be honest, I think he makes a strong case that you can just do it every game. Sure, Quas-Wex has its benefits,
I think you can do it every game.
Quas Exort is never bad. I mean, maybe sometimes Quas-Wex is more suitable.
I think if you have like absolutely zero AoE and they're going to 5-man you early or push down your T1s, I think it's really good. But that's very situational. That's a very small percentage of games. And if you play Quas Exort properly, you can put so much lane pressure that they can't gather up that early.
Well, top lane, we're going to have a bit of an initiation here, and Sadoy takes a burrow straight to the face. Look at the body blocking from Always Want to Fly. Oh, they're going to back off. If they have the level 2 and Invoker, they definitely go for that, but not able to in the end. He had Carapace skilled up, had not used it yet, so...
You usually don't see Sand Kings able to zone out a hero, so if they can prevent Sadoy from getting like level 3 by, let's say, like 3 minutes, then I think that's a success. Or I'm not sure if Always Want to Fly is going to be able to zone him out, though.
Remember, he's got Living Armor to work with in this lane. We have not seen Goblek skill anything yet, maybe holding onto a point to see if he can get Leech Seed, but yeah, Sadoy can trade pretty effectively here, too. He's got the higher base armor, he's got a stout shield as well, and he should be in good shape in this matchup, unless he gets caught by the Sand King with Invoker ready to let a Sunstrike fly. So, Nyx already has the high base regen. I believe it's 2.5 or 3 HP regen a second.
Yeah, I don't know if they can kill him, though.
And then you add up Living Armor on top of that, and it's like he's got a free reign of health, and,
look
maybe
at the
then
stun,
some.
and how much damage that did. That did like 150 damage with the stun and 2 right clicks against a poor man shit. I think that Always Want to Fly is just better off stacking and pooling as a Sand King, getting his levels, and we see a lot of Sand Kings just straight blink rush with brown boots, and it's been very, very effective.
Yeah, Sand King's been one of the most popular, and, well, I think he's like, his stock has risen the most of any support in this tournament, along with maybe Silencer, but he's only really been effective in the one game so far, it seems.
Oh, looks like the two... Where is Always Want to Fly going? Oh, I guess checking the 2-minute rune. He will pick up a regeneration.
So yeah, the other thing is, the Invoker can just zone out the Nyx once he gets some levels. So he can handle this lane 1v1. He doesn't need the help early on, and Sand King, like you mentioned, benefits from the farm, and frankly, is most effective when he gets it. On the other side, RoX.KiS just focusing on their pulls. They have successfully kept Mag out of the lane, but he'll just go woods. Hits level 2, maybe goes back to the lane. We'll see if he just wants to continue farming, rushing the mech, or look to apply a little bit of pressure bottom instead.
This is something that I think that YIF should have done on the Darkseer yesterday. It was a very similar matchup, Darkseer off lane on the Dire versus a tree plus a couple of other heroes, and he kind of just sat there until like 4 or 5 minutes and still got level 1. If you don't think that you can get any experience, better just to stack and pull, get some early guaranteed levels, because you're not going to be able to hinder that carry's farming anyways.
How's our dual lane mid looking so far? Solo 7 and 6, getting out farmed by this Mirana, and they didn't really come that close to killing him because there was Living Armor, but they're putting some pressure on Solo. He's out of regen now. Does he have a bottle yet? Nope, no bottle, just more tangos ferried out, so they're doing a good job shutting down this OD so far.
But I don't know if the trade-off's worth it. The trade-off is that the supports aren't really getting anything because Mag is using the jungle. So Goblek, level 3 already, Yol, level 2, and they're just having free roam, stacking, double pulling, and so both offlaners relatively equal, and the supports have to babysit. Sand King babysitting on top, Shadow Demon mid. So you will see Tree and Dazzle likely having a higher impact.
And BZZ, despite not really being contested, gets his phase boots first, but I imagine if there's no one showing up here soon, we'll see some sort of greed out of him. They could look to go for more of an early fighter build, but it seems to me if you're just completely left alone in this lane, you're better off getting something that puts economic pressure on Empire. Dominator.
Empire doesn't really have that good of a late game, though. So I think if RoX.KiS just goes pure early items anyways, like let's say 4 staff with no Midas in the treads on the OD and like phase drums on Gyrocopter, if they can beat Empire in the mid game, they'll definitely win late. Whereas if they go greedy, they might not win the mid game and might not win the late game because of it. So I think it's safer for them to just make sure that they can take the fight to Empire early.
Mid lane, Solo's gonna eat a huge Sunstrike arrow combination in the face, surrounded by the illusions. However, Living Armor is keeping him alive. That high base armor is well 7 armor, and the Living Armor Well, God Black does it again. The tree, once again, the saving grace for his team.
Nice one by Solo there.
Meanwhile, Mag's having a tough time in this offlane. Comes in, immediately it's a phase boots, rocket barrage. It is a max flat cannon build though, so BZZ focusing more on his economy and not doing as much to zone out Mag. 1 point of rocket barrage is pretty good, but generally you will see it maxed quite early.
Yeah, if it's uncontested though, I can understand why he's going flag. Let's see if any anxious are being stacked. Nope, not yet. I think that RoX.KiS should probably start stacking that a little bit for BZZ just so he can come up on top on.
Yep, the Nyx is doing well in the offlane, level 3. Considering just the fact that he's an offlane, Nyx can't rotate to the jungle. It's a pretty good start, but now the lane gets harder for him. Resolution has access to Sunstrike. He's got his Forge Spirits up, and Sadoy is just going to have to play this very defensively. Sit near the tower. Oh, another chase on bottom lane. Mag being zoned out again.
I think Sadoy has a lot of weight on his shoulders this game. If you look at how the engagements are going to go into the late game, it's really going to be Nyx Assassin initiating most of them. Maybe sometimes OD with like a Force into Astral or something like that, but really Sadoy has to make the big plays, whereas Empire, they have a lot better ways to initiate. Vacuum Wall, Invoker with Cold Snap, Sand King with eventually Blink Stun, Disrupt into Arrow. There's so many ways for them to start off a team fight, but RoX.KiS, they don't really have that many great ways. So if Sadoy just doesn't have any impact, he gets level 6 and doesn't get any kills, gets like a really, really late Arcane Blink, then I can see most of these fights going Empire's way in the latter half of the game.
Well, once Tree gets a Blink, they've got some good initiation there as well.
Yeah,
and there's kind of
very mediocre though. Like Mag will just Vacuum Wall if he gets Overgrowth or his team gets Overgrowth, whereas like Tree is...
Yeah, it can set up your Impale though.
Yeah, I mean, that's lackluster, though. Like, are you really scared of a Overgrowth into the Impale combo? That's, like, one of the weakest team fight initiates that we've seen in this tournament.
Yeah, that's fair. It's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing. And they have Moonlight Shadow, too, on Empire. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I guess the other thing is if OD gets a Hex, but
yes,
that's quite late on in the game.
Yeah, it's really on Nyx in the mid-game and I think OD on the late game. Gyro just does what Gyro does.
Solo's going to get disrupted. He does have Yol behind him. Sunstrike's going to connect. No, oh, just off the mark. Slightly mistimed. The arrow actually dodged as well. And that's not going to work for Empire. Yeah, they'll be forced back, but now they bring in the Sand King as well, so they're going to try and force their way through this Living Armor. There's a leap in from Silent, connects with the Starfall, driving Yol back. He's graved his teammate, but now he's going to pay, and they might lose more here as well. Empire in hot and heavy pursuit. ODL dropped. It's not enough. 2 kills and a first blood going the way of Empire. Great rotation from Mag. And an even better rotation from Always Wanna Fly.
If the Living Armor were not nerfed, I think he would have lived there, but it was still on CD. That's really a long cooldown at level 2 Living Armor. 26 seconds.
That's really how you have to play against it, is either don't bother going for kills or go for them 2 times in quick succession so that it's been used once, wasn't available for
They also split targets too, so that's really nice. And Mag actually got this stack too. So Godblack was stacking a little bit for BZZ and he jacked that big camp. So now they have absolutely 0 stacks to work with. And on top of that, they just have this one little Satyr. So if BZZ wants to pull ahead economy-wise over, like, let's say the Invoker, who almost has his hand of Midas, it's going to be a tough road unless it supports to get the stacking.
And Always Wanna Fly up to 1,200 gold. So Blink Dagger is not too far off. Hits level 5 off of that as well.
I think economic pressure is on RoX.KiS, actually. Even though they have like slightly better late game, their lanes aren't developing the way they want them to. Like OD didn't dominate mid. The bottom has 50% more CS than her. Invoker kind of crushing top. And the only one that's doing well is Gyrocopter, but we haven't really seen a Gyrocopter carry even like mildly hard recently. Most of the times I've just seen him absolutely flop, even though I don't think the hero's weak.
Yeah, he does have an early HOD, but there's still no ancient stacking as of yet. So
I think he got a good He could have gotten HOD before phase. Like you can just save your gold, and there was like almost no one in the lane. I don't think he even needs boots to.
The thing is, he got the phase, but Darkseer can just surge away anyway, and did not keep Mag down in the slightest, even with the early phase boost.
It helps last hit a little bit though, but you're already in free farm heaven.
Yeah, so he does pick up a creep now. It's still a very early Helm of the Dominator. Maybe misses like a stack or 2 off.
63 CS in 8 minutes is very respectable.
And they do have very good defensive abilities to buff up this Gyro, but they don't have anything like Empower, so he's not going to be hitting all that hard until he gets a bunch of farm. Plus, Invoker is Midas, so I think economic pressure is slightly on RoX.KiS. The main thing that I would be worried about if I'm them is Always Wanna Fly getting a Blink Dagger this early. 1,300 gold. He could easily have it by like 12, 13 minutes, and
he's already taking out a quad stack.
Then they've got to be worried about
I think he
jumped.
gets it after this Sandstorm camp.
He'll be very close if he doesn't exactly get it. Mid lane, Astral deployed by Solo, just trying to keep his farm up. And like you said, Sidoi does have a lot of pressure on him. Mag is doing a good job in the off lane, actually diving Goblak a bit here. I don't think he'll commit to this one. He'll actually surge himself away. But just shutting down the tree. This is where he struggles. Not the strongest zoner in most cases. Sometimes PPD has seemingly found a miracle way to zone enemy heroes, but in general, he does get dealt with by a lot of others.
Yeah, like Resolution just getting his levels too. He's about to hit that magical level 9 with the double Force Spear. That's a very scary early farm on an Invoker.
When is Resolution's Invoker not scary early?
This is true. This is true.
He's very efficient with his last hitting. 40 denies, just to rub it in almost.
Well, Nyx Assassin does have Arcane Boost and is Vendetted up, looking for a kill.
Oh, they might be able to catch somebody at this rune. He's actually just going to snag the haste. Just steals it right out from under the Sand King's nose. Speaking of the Sand King, always want to fly. Does not yet have Blink, but with 2 more camps, he will. He's close. Are they ready with Sentry Wards on the side of Empire is the next question. Actually, no Sentries picked up yet, and Nyx is missing, so they're going to have to play this one a bit carefully. One thing I will say is when you see less Nyx in the metagame, generally teams are less prepared with their Sentry Wards. It's like if they're not used to playing him, oh, mid lane, Sunstrike on the Solo, it's going to connect, just rips his head off with that one. He's a little charred now. He'll rethink it in the
He actually went level 5 Exort at level 9 instead of double Force Spirit. I think that extra damage actually secured that kill.
Would the Living Armor have saved him there?
I think, did he have it on? I'm not exactly sure.
No, it was on cooldown.
I think it would have saved him if he cast it like immediately out of Disruption, but
would have been maybe a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, most of the damage was the Sunstrike, which is a very high single amount of burst, so not going to help you as much with Living Armor there.
So poor RoX.KiS, their early game's very, very weak. They were coming out on top of experience early, but the rotations from Empire, this dual lane in mid, and OD just not having a good time. It's interesting to see a lot of teams like going back to what a lot of the top teams, well, I guess really EG, because they really brought back OD and Darkseer, and I didn't see him out at all in the latter half of Starladder.
Yeah, RoX.KiS do like, oh, blink in initiation. There's your Sand King. He's ready to go. Actually, Heppies doesn't even need it. Oh, man. That early blink on Sand King. IG, probably the team that's been running the most Sand King in this tournament, and we see once again the power of this hero.
He farms it about as fast as Bat, I'd say. It just, I guess a little bit slower, but it's the same concept.
It depends on what he chooses to do in the lanes, but I'd say it's pretty much as fast. Maybe a minute or two slower, but basically the same.
Yeah, it's really nice the no mana, because you almost always had to go Arcane Blink Dagger before the buff, and now you can just straight rush Blink with Brown Boots.
The other thing that makes this possible is the change to Sandstorm's AoE. It used to be scaling, and now it's just 550 at all levels. Old Sandstorm, it doesn't hit a large enough area to easily and quickly farm jungle camps, so...
Sandstorm's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's really...
Sidoi, Invis, looking for somebody.
Well, they're going to head towards mid now. They've got no Epicenter, but they still have a pretty scary combination. Already the single point and wall up. Mag, building towards his mechanism.
RoX.KiS just has no map control at all, though. Like, there's no threats anywhere on the map.
Oh, they're just going in. They're just going for frags now. There'll be a defensive Astral here, whereas that Sunstrike doesn't actually have mana for it. Just is going to have a Cold Snap, but it's plenty of damage. Sidoi finding Mag under the tower. Mag dropping quite low here. There's a grave on Sidoi. Mag, oh, one more right click. They can't get the kill. How frustrating. Then they lose Sidoi as well. It's a multi-kill for Resolution. Always want to fly, burrows through, connects on 2. He'll pay with his life here. But well worth the trade.
That Stout Shield proc on Darkseer.
Yeah, and that 11 armor as well. Every little bit making the difference.
Oh, man.
And they're fighting without Mirana. That's the scary thing. RoX.KiS are bringing 5 heroes to fights. Mirana, who's one of their best... I mean, I guess she's using her ult, but she's basically just off farming.
OD's dead weight, 0-3-0. Look at his items, just treads and null talisman, and he's been completely shut down.
Honestly, I feel the dual lane was effective for them.
It was.
I mean, at first it kind of looked like, well, they're not killing him, he's still getting levels, but that's before the Sunstrikes came in. They had a game plan which was disrupt into an arrow, into a Sunstrike, and as soon as they got the levels on Invoker, they started going for the combo, and it's just been all gravy for Empire from there in the mid lane. Now they lead by 4K gold, 5K experience, and they have all the tempo control. Like you said, there's not much vision for RoX.KiS, but the other thing that's the bigger problem is there's just so much gank
Who's going to gank from Empire, or for RoX.KiS? Who's going to be Nyx's buddy to kill people? Maybe if they had an Invoker, maybe if they had like a Sand King moving along too, but no one can actually gank with them. Tree's not going to do anything. Gyrocopter is busy getting his farm on. He needs his BKB ASAP. Dazzle doesn't provide any burst.
This is one of the reasons why DK has been so effective in this tournament is they just have so much gank threat. I mean, a support Meepo with a Blink Dagger, they had a double blink on Clinks as well as another initiator in that game. And it seems to me that the teams who can threaten kills more are generally coming out on top in this tournament.
Living Armor used on the tower mid, but tower kill will still go to Resolution, so they're kind of steamrolling this early game. 5,000 gold lead for Empire, and I don't see it halting anytime soon. Like, what is the go button for RoX.KiS? When are they going to get their game plan together? When are they going to start retaliating against Empire?
They can't. They have to turtle and farm, but Empire doing everything they can to shut this down. They've Sentry Warded off the Ancients again. This Radiant Ward will expire soon. They just have to get a massive Gyro, a massive OD, but Solo's ultra poor. And the Gyro, 110 CS, but he's just been shut down a bit with the one death, and they're not taking towers either.
They're going to get starved, though, if they continue this on for much longer. I think maybe once they get the BKB on the Gyrocopter, they can start taking fights, but they can't just keep losing all their towers. If they lose this top tower, too, they'll have really poor access to their Ancient stack. It's a triple Golem, or double Golem and a Triceratops spawn, but I don't know if they'll actually be able to take it. Empire might actually steal it from right under their nose.
Always want to fly. He's in position here across the cliff. However, he's been spotted. He'll go into Sandstorm, trying to Darude his way out of this.
Uh-oh, they found Always Want to Fly, though.
Yeah, he's going to Burrow Strike out. Oh, they have Astraled him on the other side, but there's just...
so dead.
Is he? Is he?
Oh, no.
No. I don't think. They just don't have any... They had no one in position. You know what they need? They need a blink on Sidoi. Without it, they just...
Yes, Sidoi, he has to do everything. He tried to initiate right there. He got an Impale off on Resolution, but what's going to follow up? Maybe like a call down to a Sanity's Eclipse, but on one hero, that's not your ideal situation.
Arrow comes racing through, then a 3-hero Burrow Strike from Always Want to Fly, then the Deafening Blast, massive AoE, that ODL barely even tickles, Gyrocopter ult deployed, now Goblet dropping low, the Gyro ult's doing pretty good damage, maybe he turns this fight around for his team. RoX.KiS actually coming out in decent position here, Solo, oh, he had the orb, I don't think he cast the orb on that last auto attack. Would have gotten this kill on Mag. 6-3-3, trapped in the trees, being scouted out by Vangscore, and they get him with the poison. One more right click, down he goes. So in the end, 4 heroes dead, make it 3 for RoX.KiS, so they come out all right here. They still lose 4, though.
Gyrocopter did big deep stat fight, and he bought his BKB before he died, too. Very nice Grave coming out from Yol. Nice overgrowth into call down combo coming out from RoX.KiS.
If the OD was not so goddamn poor, that fight might have gone completely their way, but he's got nothing. He just picked up his Staff of Wizardry. His ult, I think most of those heroes didn't even damage them, or it did like 100 damage.
Yeah, I think Invoker probably has more int than him, 86 versus 88, so just two less int.
And well, he just got the Staff of Wizardry as well, so he didn't even have it.
Necro 3 on Invoker, 17 minutes, treads, Necro 3.
And they're already rushing. He just goes straight into the pit.
That is absurdly fast.
Yeah, straight into the pit here. Do they have a medallion online? No medallion, but this will still be pretty fast. And with some good micro, Resolution can solo this.
Or just the help of an arrow.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Well, the Necro's cooling down as well, so he'll have access to that soon.
Easy money.
And RoX.KiS realistically can't contest this too much. They're not good at going into the pit and forcing a fight.
They have no idea either.
Even if they did, you know, it probably wouldn't matter.
Yeah. The threat of the vacuum wall to Epi is too strong.
That was a great initiation by Always Want to Fly. 3-hero Impale as well. RoX.KiS did a great job of turning the fight around, but Always Want to Fly started that fight off the right way.
You can't clump up like that versus their team. That's before Vacuum initiate too. If Darkseer gets a blink and they do exactly what EG did yesterday versus Alliance, like a Vacuum into a Blink Impale into, like, let's say a Meteor Deafening Blast, everyone's just going to die.
If you hit that combo perfectly while they're being vacuumed, there's actually nothing they could do. They can't even pop BKBs while they're being pulled in, so it's rough. Sidoi's going to get caught here by a Burrow Strike. Sunstrike will be Carapaced. Resolution doesn't care, though. He's happy to take this tower. Aegis up on him, and Empire pushing through the middle lane. They're not going to give up free towers, though. They'll rotate towards mid. Resolution looking for his defense, and Solo, BZZ, and Yol will be forced back. So Empire taking some territory and giving no quarter in return.
I think this Invoker pick is just dominating the tree in multiple aspects. So usually Living Armor will be enough to save your mid, but Invoker, Sunstrike just kind of trump that. And then usually your Tree Armor will be enough to deal with pushes, but Invoker's also way too strong with the Force Spirit, with the Alacrity, with the Necronomicon. These towers just fall before he gets a chance to heal them up.
You know, talking about the Invoker, one thing that we did not mention at all this game, which I think made a huge difference, was the way Empire laned it. RoX.KiS expected an Invoker mid. That's why they picked OD, but they didn't get an Invoker mid. They got a dual lane mid, and Resolution got free farm in the safe lane. So Empire with the laning adjustment, that's the big reason to me why Resolution's doing so well.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Laning decisions have just been so crucial in this tournament in general. I feel a lot of games have just been won or lost straight off of that. Even more so than drafts a lot of times. Well, the tower's going to die mid, not successfully denied. The Necro army is just too damn strong. And now they're going in. Oh, no. Oh, no. God Black, be careful, my friend. There's a blink in. Burrow Strike's going to find him, and then the Sunstrike will as well. He just gets sniped from range. These sniper lineups. Yesterday it was the Centaur Invoker from DK. Today it's the Sand King Invoker. Mirana there as well for Empire. Just so much pickoff potential. It's very frustrating to play against. You
Say
just have
goodbye
to be
to all your
perfect.
T2s.
Yeah, jeez. They're not giving any room here to RoX.KiS. And I like this aggression. They'll blink it. Oh, nice BKB dodge. Does manage to turn it around with an Impale as well. Always want to fly. May have pulled his team into an awkward position.
Where's the sentries? Oh,
they don't have detection.
No.
They don't have it. Now Mag comes in. Backs on a few. Oh, what a play from Mag. Then they work on Solo with the cold snap, the arrow connecting as well. Solo's going to fall. Imagine if they had a Burrow to follow that up. That's probably a team wipe, but nonetheless, it's good enough. 3 heroes dead on the back of that. Darkseer is back, baby. If he was ever gone, he's definitely back now.
If they had sentries, they would have killed Sand King. I don't think it would have been that disastrous, but just one slight misstep, too. Mirana and Sand King definitely need a reveal versus that.
Yeah, I mean, I was mentioning this briefly earlier. Oh, blink in initiation. Goes on to the gyrocopter, then the arrow comes through as well. And they'll bring down 633. Overgrowth hits 4, but where's the damage follow-up? Gyro's bought back for this. It's already too late, though. Godblack being driven back to the well. There's an army of creeps following him in. While on the other side of the fight, RoX.KiS look to turn around. Resolution is Aegis here, though. Gets disrupted for now. And even if he dies once, can they kill him a second time is the big question. Now he's Astral. Just damage the man. Actually try and hit him. Resolution, surged out, still alive. He's gonna live.
I think that
nice
Astral
play.
saved him.
Yeah. I was like, just right-click the guy. Monoburn, Mag on the run. ODL gets the point. Looks like Mag's probably going down here. Impale's going down in 1 second. I'll actually blink away. No! No, no, no. No, they need this kill, man.
There's a rocket there.
At what level is this rocket?
Yes, Surge.
Level 1. Keep on running, Mag. Keep on trucking. He's got a blink dagger 1 second. Ah, not enough damage. Level 1 rocket.
With the moves.
Bink. And they bought back on Gyro. That is disastrous for RoX.KiS. Also, this ward got snuck down in the middle of the fight. So the next time Empire comes for high ground, it's with Blink, Vacuum, Epicenter, and a ward to give them the vision. This is, oh boy, end of bail.
16,000 gold league.
This is trouble for RoX.KiS.
Even if they kill Invoker, I think they have to just immediately back off after that. I don't think they can kill him twice.
Yeah, and he's got Hex now. He's got a freaking Hex. 23-minute Hex.
That's some true farm. 8-0-4 on him. 150 elasticity, even outpacing this gyrocopter with free farm in the early game. And
I feel like Empire and DK are the two teams where Invoker's the biggest threat in this tournament. EG doesn't really run them that. They don't really run them at all. Alliance does run them, but I don't think it's that scary compared to some of their other heroes. To me, Invoker's, like, we saw what happened when Resolution had to play Mirana mid that one game. He just couldn't do what he did this game.
Definitely not.
So I think it's a hero that's worth a ban against Empire.
RoX.KiS still just no answers to Empire's snowball. Absolutely none. Maybe if Sidoi had a Blink Dagger, but even then, there's still no follow-up. So check him out. 1,000 gold on him. I still don't see any item, and unless RoX.KiS pulls a miracle in the next team fight, they're probably going to lose a Rax in the this next push. I think Aegis will expire before they actually get there. They still have about 25 seconds left on that, but it didn't even matter. They couldn't kill him once last time.
And they're keeping their farm up on other heroes here. They've got a Manta Style coming out now from Mirana, and she's now at the point where she can build that first damage item, the first like pure DPS item of the game, and do a lot of work with that. RoX.KiS are just, they're one bad fight away from losing Rax here.
I think they should smoke. When you're in this sort of base defense situation where one fight's going to cost you the game, you just do everything that you can. They also need, like, you probably should sentry ward this.
Again, this ward.
Yeah,
this ward.
You just had to play better safe than sorry.
I like this sentry, though. They're ready for the Nyx to try and sneak in. He doesn't have a blink dagger yet either, which means they've got 0 initiation. Mag blinks in, vacuums into a burrow, into an arrow, into a meatball, but it's not enough. The gyro turns it around, does drop his ultimate, and now looks to find some kills. The BKB is going to wear off soon. Sadoy also falling low, Tree on the run. They try to hide, but there's nowhere to go. OD cleans up resolution. Aegis is gone. That's 1,000 gold streak down. Our RoX.KiS actually defending this. Well, now Solo's in trouble. They can burrow him. They can focus him down. No, he astrals. He dodges the arrow. What a play by Solo. Then he dodges the burrow strike. This guy's a goddamn Houdini. Suddenly living armor's here. Solo's still alive. He's still alive. Finally goes down. What fantastic movement and defensive play from RoX.KiS. That looked like a disastrous fight, and it worked out so well.
Yeah, and they got Invoker. That's so much gold coming in for Solo.
Did his Aegis just expire?
No, it expired well before the fight. But that was, well, nicely played. They kind of messed up on the OD, though, that force staff out of the burrow strike and the missed arrow, but...
And astral dodging the arrow as well, yeah.
They still have to, I guess, take the next Roshan before they can take the racks, but still, very good hold by RoX.KiS. I actually thought that Gyrocopter was going to die. Resolution they didn't have enough lockdown for him. I thought he was going to definitely invest. He'd use it a little bit later. I'm not actually sure if he had it up, but he almost died from 100 to 0, getting stun locked by the blink sinking. And if he dies right there without buyback, they don't have any damage to follow.
They also stack their stuns because they blink, vacuum, burrowed, and the arrow hit at the same time. So arrow and burrow strike were stacked up almost completely there.
Still, Empire with a very solid lead on this game, 20,000 gold lead.
And if they have Aegis there, they probably just win the game. So they can wait for the next Roche, and then RoX.KiS will be absolutely up against it. And they can't afford for their Gyrocopter to buy back again. He needs a little more damage at this stage.
He doesn't have money for buyback.
He's gone for a talisman.
Talisman is, there's so much magic damage that I'm surprised that he did go for a talisman. I think you just go damage at this point, just so you can kill people during BKB.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you've already got BKB to deal with Cold Snap, so even the auto tech's missing, not getting mini stun by that, it's not going to make that big of a difference.
Here they go. Screw the Aegis. They want the win.
They pop the Dazzle ult. Empire going to try and bulldoze their way in. Goblak's perched in position, but there's a Sentry Ward here, and they just blink in. They're like, hey, buddy, we see you. You haven't fooled anyone. Then out comes the Hex on the Solo, but it's not really enough lockdown yet. Silent gets overgrowth. There's a back on in. Where's that Epicenter? Where's the Sand King? Not hitting anything just yet. Silent forced back. Finally, Sandcage shows up a day late, $1 short, and then some. Well, they'll still get the kill here on the Gyro. Caught outside of the base. Trying to bring down Yol. Can't quite do it. Always want to fly. Did his blink get canceled or something?
Yeah, it got canceled by Flak.
Okay.
Well, he was like doing it right here, though. That's not the best place to Epicenter, but...
Oh, they miss on the Burrow Strike, or the Impale. Then the Burrow Strike connects. Arrow coming through. Sadoy will get graved. Carapace and Impale, they've all been used. Now they Hex up Goblak. He TPs in to try and bail out his team. Deafening Blast drives 2 back. They'll bring the tree down, and they'll keep on going for more kills. Solo forced to retreat out. Empire are quite low here, though. I don't know if they can continue the siege.
I don't think so. Gyro's going to revive very, very soon, and they still have...
Ooh. A whiff Burrow Strike from Always Want to Fly. Empire, they could just go for the next Roche, but they just want to end the game this second. Well, now they'll be forced back. Mana Burn's there. Always Want to Fly. Could be impaled. Will be disrupted mid-impale animation, and now blinks out successfully. Great disruption from Vangscore. This support duo, they are really in sync.
Ooh, that was close. Thought Solo was about to get that Astral, but they did have upfield vision on them. Well, Roshan has respawn. Is Necro 3 up? It is up in 1 second, so he can take it out if he wants to.
Yeah, good item selections here from Empire. Vangscore's going for a pipe. RoX.KiS largely magic damage to this point in the game. Gyro just he tickles, doesn't hit that hard. And they'll get a few BKBs as well. Mag gets dinked at the base by the homing missile.
The high ground hold is strong in this one.
Well, for now, but I feel with the next Aegis, with the BKB coming soon on Mag.
And with Gyrocopter dying a few times.
And with the pipe. The pipe's the other big thing on the Shadow Demon. These 3 items and the Aegis should be enough to take the base.
Yeah, it's going to tickle with the Overgrowth, Sanity Eclipse, and Call Down combo.
Now, that's only if Empire play it smart. Like, they have, I'd say they've overextended a bit this game.
Yeah, they could have easily taken Roshan and then pushed instead.
Yes.
But
finally, there's a Nyx Blink. God, it's late, but better late than never, I suppose. He did have to buy back in one of the earlier defenses over here.
OD's getting decently farmed too. He does have treads, mech, and force staff. I think the mech has been really crucial in these sustains too.
Lincoln Sphere out from Mirana, so actually does not opt to finish a Manta style. There's not much. There's really nothing to block with Lincoln's Astral, I guess.
Astral, Poison Touch.
That's
Mana Burn, Impale, Homing Missile.
No, the Impale's non-targeted.
Some of it is. Sand King's stun is blocked by Lincoln's. It's not targeted.
Well, yeah, not the Nyx though. Right?
I think they're.
I'm pretty sure it's not anymore.
It used to be before they changed it. I'm not sure if it still is.
I'm trying to remember. I think there was a bug where it was still blocked that got fixed. I'm not sure, but I mean, it shouldn't really be since it's not targeted.
It shouldn't be. Well, Sand King shouldn't be either.
Yeah. Well, you can target it though. I guess is the
You're
thing.
targeting the ground though. It's the same thing. You point and click.
But you can hero target with Sand King stun.
Well, you can hero target with Nyx Impale, but
yeah, but it doesn't like follow them.
It doesn't follow them on Sand King either.
That's.
Well, I mean, it's Dota.
Empire gonna push through the bottom lane. They'll look for their first lane of Rex here. Still haven't managed to break this base, but this time they're coming with the Aegis. No pipe yet. They'll try and find another initiation.
Well, how do they initiate? They have to get like a really nice Nyx Impale from Sidoi. Sidoi's not really in a great position to do so. I think they have vision of him too. It is nighttime.
BKB's up on the Darks here, though. He can just go for a blink back into an Impale or a Burrow Strike from the Sand King. They'll start with the Hex here. Then the Meatball comes out. It's a little bit to the side. The Gyro will be kept alive, but the Epicenter's here. That's your combo from Empire. They bring down quite a few. Now chasing onto Godblack. One more right click. He does manage to fog it, but they've lost another here on the side. Now the Gyro's completely on his own. Nothing to help him out, and he'll go down in the end. And that Shadow Demon falls, trying to disrupt himself.
Too much AoE damage. There's so many ways that Empire can initiate. They started off that fight with a Hex into a Deafening Blast Meteor on just one guy, and then on the other people they just had Vacuum Wall, Epicenter. There's just too much damage coming out from Empire. RoX.KiS, they don't have anything. They're forced from the defensive from the get-go, but they don't have any damage to follow up. If you preemptively use BKB, you're going to lose the fight too. And you can't really not BKB a Hex Initiate and a Blink Stun from Sand King. So they're just kind of out of solutions.
Empire will take down the tier 3 mid, now going for their second lane of Rax. This looks like the end for RoX.KiS. They had a great run in the tiebreakers, almost took down IG, almost took down Navi as well, but they fell short, and now it seems Empire will be the first team to advance out of the losers bracket round 1, and they'll also be knocking RoX.KiS out. 2 lanes of Rex down. The road is tough from here. Sidoi will try and fight on. They'll fight this one out to the bitter end. Resolution with the BKB and an Aegis. He pops the BKB right before dying. Could have held it for the respawn. Now the OD ultimate deployed on Always Wanna Fly. Can they finish him off? Deafening Blast is dropped here. Grave onto Godblack. Burrow back in for Always Wanna Fly, then blinks out. Quickly trying to retreat himself. Resolution has been dusted. Gets disrupted. The missile's not going to connect now. Can turn around here. They purged up Solo. He'll force death out of a Sunstrike, but they've defended their teammates, their comrades, and now they lose Solo. And this might just be 2 lanes of Rex for Empire.
That was a nice try from RoX.KiS, hoping that a couple of them would TP out and then catch them all. But the 2 heroes that were TPing out were interrupted, but everyone else was still there. So they were able to save their teammates. They had the Aegis on Invoker too, and it's a nice move from RoX.KiS, but a little too late. Empire didn't really give them any opportunities, though, to try and get back into the game. They didn't have the greatest laning phase, understandably so. Nyx Assassin versus 2, OD versus 2, and Gyro Copper had free farm, but how much can a Gyro do on his own?
He's trying to build he wants the rapier, but yeah, he's not going to, I don't know if he farms it in time here. Only the Demon Edge up, and the clock's ticking. RoX.KiS, their last hope in the playoffs, could expire very soon. At this point,
sell all your items, get Naked Rapier. He has a Demon Edge.
Against this kind of initiation, that is a recipe to feed. Maybe they can grave him at the right time.
It's YOLO time, man. You're 2 racks down.
Yeah.
You're 30,000 gold behind.
That's fair.
If a Rapier is not going to save you, nothing will. Double Rapier. Please. Please, BCZ. What is OD going for with this other Staff of Wizardry? An Atos?
It's just spend your gold on something.
Casual.
Get some in.
Dagon?
No, it's just get some in.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
This is like the Eternal Envy plate mail in the final moments of Alliance EG. It's game is probably ending with this fight. Let me just get something that helps my team, even the slightest amount for right now.
The casual plate mail did work.
Yeah, well, I don't know if this will do work, but it is the same idea.
I still not terribly on board with the casual Talisman of Evasion. They have a Hex, firstly. Secondly, they just have so much magic damage. But, I mean, 1,800 gold is not really going to buy him anything that's going to change the game anyways, but it would put him halfway to his Relic.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he could have gotten like the Demon Edge sooner, I guess. They'll pop a pipe now and look to break the base. And Nyx is waiting a bit back, but they've managed to find Goblak. He was crouching in the trees. Then Sadoy blinks in. He wants to impale, but there's nothing to impale. So many BKBs on Empire. Sadoy gets caught out by a Burrow Strike. Always want to fly. Here comes the Epi. Blake's forward with the Veil. There's a decent Disruption Astral here, but only keeps a low D life for a bit of time. Drops the ult. Does nothing. Empire overwhelming RoX.KiS. Finally showing some form at group stage. They knock down the first team of this tournament. RoX.KiS are eliminated in Empire. The crowd cheering them on as they will advance and at least finish in the top 6.
A valiant effort by RoX.KiS, but I just didn't really see their game plan. Like maybe if everything goes right for them in the early game, maybe if you have the OD versus Invoker mid matchup that you talked about. But like after the laning phase, it just seemed like nothing really came together. And they also didn't have a good way to threaten towers, which is generally what RoX.KiS does. As you said, they have the Zeus strat with the Max Necro book. Where was anything like that this game? I don't even think they came close to pushing a T1 down.
I really think it came down to the lanes, honestly. And it's where the offlane Nyx just is kind of questionable. He can't farm a quick Blink Dagger. They didn't have someone else to initiate.
He used to be like T1 offlane material, and then now he's just like...
I feel like that's more when you have other heroes to combo with him, or if he's got an easier lane where you can get a fast Blink. But that plus the fact that they expected the OD Invoker mid, just they didn't win mid convincingly, and they didn't get a fast Blink on their only tempo controller.
Mm-hmm.
I go back to, we've looked at like 3-4 games this event where teams that have better initiation usually win the games.
Yes.
I think initiation is being undervalued by quite a few of the teams.
Tree Dazzle is usually like their bread and butter.
Wasn't enough this game. I
think they needed just more aggressive heroes. Like OD plus Nyx combo is just like, meh. If Gyrocopter's not going to rotate early, then it's kind of meh too. I think they needed... I think that's a big reason why Gyrocopter's fallen off. Like, if you get HOD, you're not going to be able to fight until... like way later. Like
they also
30
are running
maybe?
Gyro and OD.
It's a little greedy.
I think if they ran something that has more control mid, maybe the Gyrocopter works. Like, for example, say Magnus wouldn't have matched up against that lane particularly, but more just as a, like, you know, in certain matchups can offer you a lot more control in the mid game.
They didn't have control for team fights. They didn't have the late game because their lanes went so poorly. They couldn't push at all. And I think of RoX.KiS as a pushing team. Like, of all the CIS teams, I think they are the one that's most likely to take down your T1 by 10 minutes.
Of all the teams, except maybe MVP Phoenix, who also run like a lot of Death Prophet.
Of CIS teams.
Yeah, of CIS.
They definitely are. And they kind of went away from that strat. And it was working for them. It worked for them yesterday. It worked for them in the tail end of Starladder.
Lycan was banned, and then Empire picked Invoker. So that was 2 of their 3 pushing heroes. They normally go for those 2, Prophet, and they get a Mass Necro bonus.
Nature's Prophet, Pugna even.
They could have still gone for a Prophet. Maybe instead of running the OD mid, I don't know, was there a Puck out there, possibly, something like that?
It's something that they could run DP themselves.
Yeah.
Right? Death Prophet, Nature's Prophet, and Pugna, let's say, as the 3 cores instead of the Gyro, OD, and Nyx Assassin. But it just seems like they weren't comfortable running that strat, and usually once they lose a laning phase, they gather up and they just start snowballing everywhere. And they win one team fight, they just gain so much momentum. They take down one tower, they get their mech, and then they also get a lot of momentum. But they just had no control, no way to get back into the game after the 5,000 gold deficit like 7-8 minutes in.
Well, with that being said, RoX.KiS are the first team out of Starladder Season 9. Goblak came on yesterday, had an interview with Cheever, and you just gotta love the guy. The way he thinks about Dota, he's got a lot of respect for certain teams, and he just has a very interesting approach. They seem like a very level-headed squad, but unfortunately, when push came to shove, they just got outplayed by Empire. And Empire, well, it's a good time to start finding your form. They win this game, and I'm not sure if they're waiting.
I'll check.
Who's waiting?
I'll check the
Alliance or? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's IG versus.
I actually tweeted out the.
So it's Alliance. It's Alliance versus Empire next.
Okay, they'll get a rematch then. Interesting. Okay.
Alliance dominated them with Naga Siren. I think that versatility is really key in this particular tournament, and RoX.KiS hasn't shown any versatility, so that's why they're 7th/8th.
Well, Empire hasn't shown a ton in their own right, and maybe that'll cost them against Alliance.
Yeah,
but
I think so.
We'll see, guys. That is going to be coming up a bit later today. Coming up next, we will have
MVP Phoenix
Phoenix versus Na'Vi. Well, this was one where the odds could be 80-20, and I think that's probably fair.
Could be Navi's last game, though.
It could be Navi's last game. Even if they win it, they've got to win 1 more best of 1 and 2 best of 3s just to get back to the grand finals with a 1-game disadvantage. Long road for Navi. They'll start it coming up next as Navi versus MVP Phoenix gets underway soon. I'm LD, he's Merlini. You're watching Beyond the Summit's presentation of Starladder Season 9, the LAN finals at Kiev Cybersports Arena. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon.